essay from the practical guidebook, Officer-like qualities, OLQs. Officer-like qualities, OLQs, sought in SSB, develop in routine life over a period of time. Trying to memorize the 15 OLQs and then understanding their definition and assessment is a task best left to assessors. Understanding the assessment techniques by candidates is a mere wastage of time, as it is a complex task that is not required of them. Candidates should be aware of being assessed as adequate in the following qualities: reasoning and organizing ability, communication skills, sociability, leadership, willpower, and determination. What aspirants should understand is that an average candidate getting selected would have in his or her career done the following: studied sincerely and understood what was taught well, played some games and done some physical fitness exercises, have led a reasonably organized life, have been involved in organizing some events at home or in school or college, and hence would have the ability to organize an event if required, would have had friends at school or college and good relations with family members. He or she would have been helpful in social relations and would respect and regard others. Would have been involved in some leadership roles like house captain, team captain, prefect, etc., and developed abilities to positively influence a group and work effectively as a leader, as a subordinate, and a team member. Would have developed willpower and determination through tough times faced at home and school or college, like exams and other pressure or deadline oriented tasks. Would have some hobbies and interests and would have been involved in some extracurricular activities which would have aided personality growth in fields other than the prescribed curriculum. Would have reasonable interest in knowing about important national and international events and social issues and have an independent opinion on them. Reasons for deficiencies in OLQs. It would be apparent from the discussion that the above should be very normal profile of a candidate. Such a candidate would be selectable. Nothing extraordinary is required. Unfortunately, a large number of candidates do not develop these qualities because their growth lacks balance. This misbalance is caused by undue focus on marks and wastage of considerable time in attending extra tuition classes. How to develop OLQs? If you have led a normal life of a student as discussed above, then there is no problem. You would be having adequate OLQs. However, if you have led a marks obsessed life with no sports, no extracurricular activities and tuition rich life, then there are chances of having personality deficiencies. Please understand that no coaching academy in the world can develop deficient OLQs sought in SSB in 15 days of intensive coaching. We at NFA have prepared a method of developing the deficient qualities with focused effort over a period of time. Identification of the weak aspects is the first course of action. This is to be followed by the construction of a long-term practical plan to overcome the identified weaknesses. The rate of improvement will vary from person to person and depends upon individual competence and commitment. The method is quite effective. Anybody who has committed themselves to this method totally have emerged highly competent and effective in what they do. Sir, what questions we face is how to develop OLQs in routine life. We say to them many times, students, that if you are a student, be a good student, at work be a good employee, and maintain some physical activity. Then there are also questions: I do not have any extracurriculars, no hobbies, so will I get recommended? So these kind of questions are raised.
Okay, fine. So in the essay, we have taken a sample of a very ordinary individual.
Yes, sir.
These kind of things happen in our ordinary day-to-day lives if we go from our schooling days and all that.
Yes.
However, as you are pointing out, that the value or significance of sports, games, and extracurricular activities has greatly reduced. in the life of the youth today. And we had a very serious setback, the entire society, when we had the COVID time coming in. And the COVID for almost 2 years affected the lives of the young persons very greatly. So that is a fact across the board in the world. However, there is nothing to get seriously worried about. It is not such a big deal. Because you see, what will happen is, let us say you did not get involved in sports. Fine. So the team spirit, camaraderie which you develop, that did not happen in a normal course of life, which would have happened if you had been taking part in sport. The other important aspect would have been that your physical fitness would have been improved. So fine. Now what we do in No Frills Academy is, when I assess a aspirant who comes to me, I find out as to what the person's current status is. If the person is lacking in social aspects, being responsible, then I tell him to start doing these things. Like today only, I was interviewing this tall boy who had come. So he was from a rural background. He lost his mother when he was young, and his father is bringing him up. Now his father, in his misplaced sense of wisdom, thought that if he does absolute, kid glove handling with this child, he will grow up well. Like I found that this boy does not even know how to ride a cycle. It will surprise, a boy who's 6 foot 2 inches, about to do graduation, can't ride a cycle. He's been giving no responsibilities. He can't make tea. He can't do any domestic things. Even milk has to be brought. His father goes and brings. He said, you keep studying. So as a result, actually this boy is losing out. When he does the routine things in life, he will improve. And they have got agricultural land which is being taken care of by his uncles. So I was speaking to him, I will be advising him over a period of time that get involved in domestic work. I will have to speak to his father also, that the outlook which you have taken in your wisdom actually will not do good to this kid. He will remain deficient. So he has to shoulder responsibilities which are commensurate with his mental and physical maturity levels. And then he will start learning those things. Fine. So like this, we have various cases. So we do that. So physical fitness, we improve by taking physical, that how much I have been talking about. You start running. We have written a fitness guide. We guide people to improve running, improve their strength abilities. So in this manner, these dimensions get taken care of. Whereas the other dimensions get taken care of when we have our own group activities in No Frills Academy, where people participate, they learn to interact with each other, help each other, get help from others, then leadership role, they are made group coordinators, they arrange activities for the group. So in this manner, we give them this platform to develop these kind of qualities. So, if things go in a routine manner, then there's nothing to bother about, these OLQs and all that. But in case there are certain aspects which are deficient, it will be very difficult, Yogita, for an individual to identify these things, because that person will not know. Because the person, like you grew up in a particular environment in Mumbai. You knew only that environment. You wouldn't know how I grew up in Meerut, what all was going on in Meerut. And similarly for me, it is difficult to understand what was going on in your life. But we are expert assessors, so we are able to identify as to where an individual is deficient, and then we make out a plan to overcome these. And once again, we cannot have a one size fit all. We will see as to what environment the individual is getting, what kind of scope he has, he or she has, and then work in a systematic manner. That is why I gave this example of this one boy who we interacted with today. Like that, there would be so many cases. All people are coming from diverse backgrounds, and we gradually develop. If you remember well how we discussed the case of Sanskar, he explained how his father told him that these are your deficiencies, which were very correctly identified, and how he improved his physical fitness, how he became more responsible, taking on responsibilities, getting more focused, not giving in to temptations like this marshmallow experiment thing, and that is how he gradually improved. And he, was studying independently in America, and how he was performing well in all round activities. So, this is how we do, we try and do, but there is no shortcut once again. It will take time, and that is what we do. So, over a period of 3-4 months, these things can be